Hey, Kory.
Hey, Muzi. Are you ready for 5 questions with Kory? I know you're super excited about
I'm I was never mind. I want
this.
to claim I'm sick and I try to avoid it.
Oh, can't do it. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know Muzi that'll be watching this, being on camera is probably not her favorite thing, and but it's going to be great. You know me. We're just talking, right?
Don't ask me tricky questions. And if I said anything I'm not supposed to say, you video edit.
I'll edit it out. Yeah. All right. So let's get going then. So we're going to start out question
Mhm.
number one. So you grew up in China, right?
Yep.
So when you were growing up, what did you want to be? Like when you were a little kid, when you're a little Muzzy, like I want to be this when I grow up. What did you want to be when you were a kid?
That's such tough questions. I
So
guess
this
I
is
was
an
more.
easy one right out of the bat. Don't
I
overthink it.
don't know, because I change my thoughts like every once in a while, but I think I want to be a forensic scientist
Oh my
because I
goodness.
love watching all those criminal TV shows and especially CSI,
So
right?
is that
CIS or CSI. Mhm.
yeah. So the forensic specialist to UX designer. How did that happen? Well, that's another question. We'll get there later. All right. So what was the first job that you ever had?
Working as a research assistant in
Research
multiple
assistant.
different labs. Mhm.
Okay. So nothing like, working at a grocery store or making, at a restaurant or anything. You just jumped right into your career for your first job.
Technically, because I'm not American citizen, so I'm not allowed to take any jobs outside
Oh,
of the
okay.
campus. That's why.
But did you not have any jobs back in China when you were younger?
I think I did a little bit like tutoring
Okay.
for students who were applying for like American college. So I helped with like tutoring English, but
How'd you
that
like
was like
that?
I hate it because I have to like communicate with their parents. That was
Oh, it's
not a
always
good
the parents.
experience. Yeah, all the parents.
So what were some of the challenges you had in working with the parents?
Um, well, because I think it was more like if their kids, like the students, don't get a good scores on exams, they instead of like blame on their kids, they will always blame on the teachers or the
Right.
tutors.
Yeah, it's all your fault. It's not that my
Yeah.
kid didn't apply themselves, it's that you didn't teach them
Mhm.
well enough, right?
Like you didn't do enough to teach their kids.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
That's why I only did it for like summer. I would never do it again.
Good to know. All right. And to anyone else watching, avoid that path. All right, next question. So you recently moved from Michigan, where you went to school. You were a University of Michigan graduate,
Hmm.
to Arizona. And I want to know, what have you enjoyed most about living in Arizona first? Now, you've only been here for, I don't know, what,
Mm,
5 months-ish or so?
yeah, since October, so about like 5 months.
Okay. So what are some things that you enjoy about Arizona compared to Michigan so far?
I would say Arizona winter time.
There's
So I
that.
guess I just moved in the best time. Although I kind of miss the snow in Michigan, but I don't miss the coldness. So I
Yeah.
definitely like I said, Arizona winter time. The winter time in Arizona.
Now,
That's
where you
definitely
grew up,
good.
yeah, where you grew up in China, was it warm weather or cold weather?
More warm weather, but we
Okay.
do have cold winter.
Yeah. And then what is it about Arizona that's been more of a challenge for you in terms of getting acclimated down here?
When went hiking, there's no greens, so I don't like the sunburn on my skin. And also the Wi-Fi service, internet service is so bad here. I saw the Comcast Xfinity is bad, but I didn't expect Cox is
I don't know if you can blame that on
worse.
Arizona. I mean, that sounds like an individual problem, but if
I
you want to
couldn't
list
find
that, that's
any.
okay.
Yep. I couldn't find any other better internet service provider.
Well, we'll have to see if we can help out there. That's not good. So you don't like hiking in the desert. You would like more green and kind of forest, lush kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And Ashley Bryce, they told me if I want some greens, I have to go up, like drive for another 1 hour.
Yeah, so go up to Sedona, go to Flagstaff, go up into the mountains. There's plenty of green up there. Definitely a whole different thing. So something for you to continue to explore in this beautiful state of Arizona.
I know.
All right,
if
so
anyone's willing to offer driving for hours.
all right, so hiking partners, we'll definitely flag that in the video. Maybe we'll hook you up with something on that. So last question. See, this hasn't been very difficult so far, has it?
Not at all.
No, not at all. All right. So you graduated from University of Michigan and we hired you right out of school. So you got your master's degree there in human computer interaction, which is awesome. I want to know is what have you learned at Keep that they didn't teach you at University of Michigan?
I think like during our previous conversation, talk about like MVP, like we will never learn about that in school. And also another good takeaway from this job was definitely during the PDX meeting on Tuesday, like I learned about like how to think more creatively.
Yeah.
So like thinking about the science outside the box, because I'm the type of person who's always by the book. So I'm not saying like we shouldn't use design system, but for me, like just relying on design system definitely becomes a restriction or a limitation for me. So like the great example like people give to me on the PDX during the PDX meeting was like how to make the alert message and like not alert, but give like a more positive vibe. So that was definitely good feedback.
Great. So those are the types of things that you wouldn't necessarily learn in your program at University of Michigan, but in the real life, you get exposed to different types of learning situations.
And I mean, because at school, all we can learn from is the professor and also our classmates who also don't have any design experience. So
kind of the blind leading the blind a little bit in that scenario. Yeah. Well, I love that. I think that's something unique that I love about our team in that collaboration. And for those that don't work on PDX that are watching this, so every Tuesday we have a meeting where our designers, our researchers, our content people are presenting the work that they're doing in progress and then kind of opening themselves up to feedback. And sometimes it's not great feedback in terms of, and I got a lot to change, but the fact that we have a team that's willing to collaborate and get the best ideas out there is something. Well, cool. That's 5 questions. I actually asked more than 5 questions, but they were 5 themes of questions. So you survived. You didn't have to pretend you were sick. And I'm excited to share this with everyone else. So thanks for your time, Muzi. We love having you on the team.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.